that without the amendment of the Electoral Act coming for 2027 general election, the election will not only be manipulated, it will not only have that is the reason why every Nigerian must stand up as quickly as possible to challenge the status quo to ensure that we have credible elections. We have developed a 10-point amendment, and it may interest you to know I was a member or the leader, the IPAC chairman, before the 2010 amendment of the elections. So I am well experienced.
What is IPAC?
IPAC is the Inter-Party Advisory Council, which represents the interests of all political parties in Nigeria. I was the chairman, a two-time chairman of that particular body. And I presented similar documents of this nature at the National Assembly. You could Google it, and probably you could see it while I was speaking to the National Assembly. So we've developed a 10-point agenda coming from the 2023 general elections. And I'll just speak to them just little by little. One, we insist that the amendment of the 2027 general election should include first the educational qualification of the contestants. Very key. Strict implementation of educational qualification requirement with evidence. Because if we don't do that, it makes every student who have gone through the four corners of the university to feel it's a waste that he has spent his university days in trying to get education. So anybody can come in and become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria without having any due qualification. So it must be amended. Two, there must be a compulsory national presidential debate. People who want to aspire for position of power must come and tell us what they have. Not that they tell us this and then they implement another thing. We demand there should be a debate. If you recall, almost the two presidential elections that had passed through this country, there was debate of the presidents was almost not there because people do not have the capacity to speak to their people. And if you don't have a capacity to speak to your people, you have no business in leading them. Three, we have 93 million registered voters before the 2023 general elections. But guess what? Only 23 or 24% of those particular people voted. It does not even have 50%. And yet, those are the people that now govern us. Is it acceptable? No, I can't hear you. Is it acceptable?
No.
So, our position is that every registered elected voter must vote. Must vote. In other countries, they fine you if you don't vote. Because it's your civic right. Because you are now putting your position, say, look, I want so person to represent me. So imagine if 93 million Nigerians voted at that time. Do you think we will have this kind of government? Obviously no. So we must insist that every registered voter must vote. And here is the catch. Wherever you register, you should be able to vote there. You don't need to move from point A to point B to register and to vote. Because normally what happens during election is that when you register to vote, you will leave that particular place. Maybe it's in Kano. You now want to go and vote in Akwa Ibom. You end up having an accident, God forbid, on the road before you want to go and vote. So vote where you are resident. And the vote should be counted according to where you are domiciled or where you want your vote to be counted. It can be done electronically. 4, Nigeria must at least tinker with the issue of tenure of office. We have 4 years, then you can renew 4 years. That makes it 8 years. We are proposing a single term of 6 years. If you are interested in doing good for the people, 6 years is enough for you to show that particular capacity. That way, because of the peculiar nature of Nigeria, everybody in every act of this particular country must have tasted that particular point to foster unity. Five, the National Assembly should also think very strongly with the issue of proportional representation. Proportional representation here means that we don't have a winner-take-all syndrome. What we have in Nigeria is that once you win as political party A, everybody that is in that political party are the only person that have right to power. And so they'll be denied the opportunity to get the best out of the other political party. Just like what you have in South Africa, there's a proportional representation. And once that proportional representation is done, if you win state assembly, an allocation of budget will be made for you in that political party. If you win as the National Assembly, that money too will be given to you. That way you will not have the idea of people defecting from one party to another. We also say that once you defect from one party to another, you must lose that seat. Because you have taken the mandate of another party to another party. Morally and ethically, it is wrong. And if you feel you are powerful and you are strong, stay in your new party, declare that particular office vacant, canvass for votes, and when you win, you can return to the chair with that particular mandate of the new party. That is how it is democratically done in anywhere in the world. Why must our own be different? So we must insist that the moment you lose your seat, you move, and then the next person will take over after an election that has already been made. 8, electronic transfer of voters' results is not negotiable. Because where they manipulate the vote is in that collation center. I was part of the team that witnessed the election before this in Edo State, where we used the Vivas machine and all of that. Elections were reported as real time. There was no manipulation. In fact, as a political party, you should be able to collate your result without even being told whether you've won or lost. So we must eliminate that collation, that hydra-headed monster called collation center. Once the result is being announced at the polling unit, that is it, and then we can collate it and get the result that all of us desire. Finally, the issue of the issue of proof of wrongdoing at the polling unit. I was the key witness to Peter Obi elections in 2023. Let me shock you. We, of course, were not able to get all of our polling agents due to some reasons, but we got appreciable number of that particular polling unit. Now, we were supposed to prove to INEC and the court that we actually won that election, which we still believe we won. We went to INEC to demand for certified true copy of the result sheet. When you say certified true copy, it means the result sheet that INEC itself used in pronouncing that result and is authentic. Listen to what the judges said. The judges said that the true certified copy that we got were manipulated by us. The certified true copy actually came from INEC, stamped and sealed by the INEC. But yet they told us that that particular certified true copy, I was the witness. And they looked at us and said that particular certified true was manipulated by us. So I wonder, where did we get a true certified copy from, if not from INEC? Finally, the issue and processes of getting a new INEC chairman. This is key. Ladies and gentlemen, do not be fooled. I see young Nigerians who are aspiring to be senators and even presidents among you. We need to challenge this particular establishment now. They are there doing kumbia, arrangi, gada, to give us a new INEC chairman. They've already done what they want to do with the security. They've done what they want to do with the, of course, all the tiers of election process, buying of your votes. giving you Talia and Maggie and Rapper. All of those ones are. In fact, they pointed at you. They told you that they are going to manipulate and you can't do nothing. That's what they said. Now, the process of getting a new chairman already been established by Justice Mohammed Uwais' report. I encourage you to go and take a copy of that report. Very important. Done with a lot of patriotism. And it was suggested that before you take an INEC chairman, make it a public thing. Publish it. When you publish it, you can now select, the NGS can now select, and then the president can now pick one. So nobody knows who that person will be. But the moment you allow these crops of politicians, unfortunately, I am among them, to pick one person, he or she will pick that person that will do his bidding. That is a fact. Whether that person do the right thing or not is left for the conscience of that person. But don't give that room. We shouldn't allow it. We should take it in a normal basis and take Justice Mohammed Uwais' report. And we also, that particular report also suggested that INEC should be balkanized into 3. 1, the electoral empire, which will deal directly only with elections. 2, the delineation commission, which will give us room to now give new polling units because we are increasing in numbers. And that delineation should start 2 years even before the elections. It should be concluded. Then the last one, which is enforcement commission. The enforcement commission is to take care of electoral malpractices. Very few of the electoral malpractices have been convicted in Nigeria. Once you can get 1 or 2 persons, I'm not talking about those ones that shoot guns on the street. No. I'm not talking about those ones. I'm talking about, with all due respect, even though I want to be a professor in my life, professors who manipulate votes should be the one that should be arrested and dealt with. Police officers who help, INEC officers who help in manipulating the result, because all of them are human beings and they are Nigerians, and they are suffering what we are suffering too. So we must be able to prosecute those particular persons. Believe me, it was not a ghost that made the glitch that took place in 2023. It was not a ghost. It was a human being like you and I. And he benefited from it and put all of us in trouble. So finally, ladies and gentlemen, I want to encourage our lawmakers. I did this at the National Assembly, and I'm saying it right now here. Remember to do the right thing at the right time. Remember to do the right thing at the right time. Today, you may be a legislator, and you refuse to do the right thing by enacting laws that will benefit all of us. That particular seat is not permanent for you. You'll be out of that particular seat one day, you'll be out of it. And then you will suffer from your inaction that you refuse to do, that you want to benefit in future. So now that you have the opportunity, do the right thing. I thank you very much for listening.